a quick little review on how to tell time on an analog clock. Now, you've learned how to do this in first grade, kindergarten, even second grade. We're just going to do a quick review just to make sure that you guys remember how to do this. Now, remember, with an analog clock, you have an hour hand and a minute hand. Hour hand shows the hour, minute hand shows the minute. Remember, we write time with a colon. We write the hour over here and the minute over here. So let's say the time was 3:30. We would write it like that. Now remember, with an analog clock, each of these numbers has two meanings. This can show that 12 is the hour, but it could also show how many minutes there are. Now 12 is where we start, so this is the starting point, meaning 0 minutes. Then once we go to the 1, we're adding 5 minutes at a time. Each of these tiny little ticks show 1 minute. So if I count up by a minute each time, I'm going to go from 0 minutes to 5 minutes. Now, if I skip count by each of these big numbers, I'm going to be skip counting by 5. So when I get to the 2, I'll have 2 times 5, which is 10. 3 times 5 is 15. If I keep counting by 5s, I go to 20, then to 25, then to 30, then to 35, 40, 45, 50, and 55. And I know that each of the little ticks, let's look at the 6 right here, each of the little ticks in between are going to be one more than the one in front of it. So that's going to be 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. So let's say I had an hour hand pointing a little bit past the 1, and my minute hand was pointing at the 5. That means my hour, which is the shorter hand, my hour is pointing at 1, so it's telling me that I have 1 o'clock as my hour, but I need to find what my minutes are. So I look at my minute hand, and my minute hand tells me that I'm pointed at the 5, which means that I'm at 25. So my time is 1:25. But let's say that my hour and minute hand are pointed somewhere else. Let's say that they're pointed where the hour hand is at the 2. Oh, hold on. Hour hand is pointed a little bit past the 2, and the minute hand is pointed a little bit past the 30. So I know my hour hand tells me that it's somewhere between 2 and 3, which means the hour is 2. Then the minute, I'm going to look and I'm going to make my way down, and it's about pointing to the 31 here, because remember, we have 1 over from where we find the 30. So my time is probably going to be 2:31. Then you need to use your knowledge of AM and PM, which we've talked about, to know whether it's daytime or nighttime. So this right here is going to be 2:31 in the afternoon. So I'm going to put 2:31 p.m. because you have to specify whether it's in the morning or the afternoon, because you don't want to invite people to a party at 2:31 p.m. and have them show up in the middle of the night. So I hope this helped. A quick little review of this. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me.